Was I aware that I was an entrepreneur? I guess in some ways I did. That we knew this was a business. I was always hard-headed about it as a business. I didn't intend to do something that was just. I had to do something else to put money in to keep it going. It had to work as a business. But I don't think I was very worried about. I never saw it getting to the size it's become. I think if you were to take me back to 20 years ago, the business is nearly 30 years old now, a long time ago. If you take me back 20 years ago when the business had been going for a number of years and said, okay, how big could this become? Imagine this in the year 2002. How big is it going to get to? And you'd scratch your head and sort of think, well, I could get to this size or that size. But I don't think I'd ever have seen it getting as big as it eventually did get. So in that respect, yeah, we certainly we saw it as a business that we were very, very enthusiastic about and very focused about. But as far as the actual potential for it, no, we didn't have any idea that there was that much potential.
Tony and I, when we started this, we just thought it was a great way for us to keep traveling, and it would subsidize our travel. We didn't think we'd make a lot of money out of it. I can remember years when we thought, oh, what are we doing here? Just give it up, go back. I mean, we had no money and it was hard. But we enjoyed what we were doing. And then when we began to get a bit more comfortable, when we first started doing guidebooks, I remember being incredibly conscious of the people out there who were reading them. I mean, we kept the books really, really cheap. $1.80 we were selling this book for. Simply because it was for people like us who were traveling on a real budget. And the reason we were traveling on a budget, because we didn't have much money, we wanted to spend as much time as possible on the road. So we made the books so cheap because we thought of these people, they don't want to spend any more than this on a book. We probably made the books far too cheap and kept them far too cheap for too long. But in a way, we sort of felt we were doing a service. I mean, we started doing a newsletter really quickly, even when we couldn't afford it, because all these letters were coming to us and we had all this information, and it used to really gall us that we had this information that we couldn't get out quickly to people. So we started doing the newsletter. It was a way of getting the readers' letters back out to people quickly. So it was this sense of being part of this traveling community that was out there through curiosity and a sense of exploration and excitement. I must admit that's worn off a bit because there's all kinds of people out there traveling. You can get around, you can get information from many different places, you can get around, and it's a lot easier than it ever was. I mean, let's face it, there are planes going everywhere. And I guess what excites, we were very protective about the business for a long time, so I think we really cared for the business. And that's still there. I still really care about, I get really angry with people who say bad things about Lonely Planet. If they're constructive, that's one thing, but people say, oh, you've sold out, you're corporate and all the rest of it. You don't even know us, But on the other hand, I get very impatient with people who want us to be the way we were as well. You have to grow and you have to change. It's been 30 years, all my adult life. I'm not the same person. I can't be. I don't want to be. So I guess find something you love to do, care about it enough that it keeps you there. Want it to be right, want it to be good. Don't worry too much about the money. If you make money, that's a bonus. If you don't make money, at least you're doing something you really, really love. It'd be horrible to make lots of money and be doing something you hate. That would be a nightmare. And I think what keeps you doing it is the sense that you're doing something good, something worthwhile, something, I can't say it's really important in the scheme of things. There are much more important things to do in the world, but it's important to me.